Well, looks like this hand alone is testing his patience.
Pass.
Is that a bad sign?
That's a bad side. You know, he did rightly lay it down. He was out of position there.
Raise.
Barry Hearn now with Queen 10 of spades, Jesse.
He's announced a raise.
8,000 total.
He's betting his position.
Call.
And the raise is
Pass.
I think, up to 8,000.
Right.
Quickly called by David Gregory, who's got a better queen here, Kenna.
Yeah, he's got him dominated. 3.5 to 1 favorite before the flop. But, you know, some of that is taken away when you consider position.
Check.
Well, Barry Hearn, the aggressor there, but he put the brakes on the flop, and has he given this pot up?
I don't think so now, because he took the free card and has picked up a 4 flush. He's, you know, if he makes a raise here, he's going to win the pot right here. Of course, it's easier for us now that we see what's out there.
Barry is counting out a raise. That's spade on the turn. Gives him plenty of outs. And
Sure
this
does.
is strong play by Barry, isn't it?
Well, it's a nice semi-bluff, okay, because he's raised before the flop. Now it looks like he's, you know, soft-checked an ace to his opponent, and he's semi-bluffing. He's got the outs to the spades. If his opponent here, David decides to look him up.
Well, this is a huge out for Barry Hearn. Little does he know that he made the best hand on the river.
Check.
Right. And with this pair, I think he'll probably elect to check it down, and he does.
Okay, fair 10.
You know, and I think we thought he put in a raise there on the turn, Jesse,
just
and he
called.
didn't. He did flat call to try and make the flush, which is also a viable play.
Banging away on that one.
If I play my hands right, then what happens, happens. But we do have a table full of aggressive players. Tony G can talk you to death. Roy the Boy can bore you to death. So, you know, all of these kids can play a bit. But as I said, they're on my patch. Let's see what they can do when the pressure's on them. And I'm going to put plenty of pressure on them.
Barry Hearn, early chip leader, and it's hardly surprising considering he's made quite a name for himself at this format. But with Tony G and Roy the Boy sitting at your table, you can hardly get complacent. We're back with more after the break.
No one to play with? There's always PartyPoker.com.
$500,000 is in the kitty for the PartyPoker.com World Open, and 200,000 of that will be going to the winner. With some of the best players from around the globe riffling their chips and checking out their cards, this tournament is one for the big boys.
You can find out more on all things poker by logging on to our website, www.5.tv/poker. There's everything you need to know on there about the beautiful game, including how to play and what beats what. You can also watch video tutorials with top players, and of course there's our competition. Click on Win to enter. It doesn't matter if you're a beginner or a pro, there's something there for everyone.
Pass.
Button belonging to Takeaway Dave, but it's Tony G who's raised the pot up. 6,000 with the 2 threes, and Rapp has just called here.
Well, this is the second time we've seen a raise with the small pair and back with the ace queen in the blinds.
By accident, if you don't follow the line.
And, I guess Rapp could have played that either way. Why do you think he's called? Just wants to look at the flop, a little scared of Tony G, maybe?
Well, yeah, you know, Tony G is such an aggressive player. You know, he wants to, maybe he's trying to trap him here and let Tony G's aggression work against him.
10,000.
Check to the razor and a big feeler bet from Tony G.
Well, you can
10,000.
see Tony G really hesitated before he put chips in the pot there. he flung it out like it was a cookie. Are you kidding? 10,000 right to you. What are you going to do?
I mean, Tony's the kind of guy who's going to keep pushing until he gets pushed back, isn't he?
That's a good point, Jesse. You know, Tony knows aptly that most flops miss most players, and he uses his position to an advantage to take down the pot here.
Once you saw a 2 come out.
So Rapp, first time on the TV table.
You
And
knew I had a lock on it.
Barry making fun with Tony G, saying once a deuce was there, it was his pot.
I had no ace.
well, they've played 5 hands already, and wouldn't you know, Tony G has won 2, but it's Barry Hearn with the chip lead. And what do you think of it so far?
Well, it's playing out so far according to Hoyle. You know, Barry Hearn and Tony G, the experience, you know, leading the younger competition.
All according to form so far, but still early days, just the first level, kind of.
Anything can happen when there's cards involved, and that's where the excitement lies. Everything can change at the turn of a card. And usually does.
Button on Kevin Dykhoff, Barry Hearn first to speak here.
The older statesman.
Pass.
Who's
Pass.
going to attack me? That's what I want to
Pass.
know.
Action
There's
around
always
now
one
to
brave enough.
Dykhoff.
Pass.
That's the same as an attack, isn't
Call.
it? Oh, that's
No,
Right, I checked it.
And Roy the
Since
boy
my
just
friends,
limping
I'm not gonna
in.
push my luck.
Tony G's big blind. G, happy to get a flop.
he does. He says, I don't want to push my luck. I wouldn't either with 3-4 offsuit. Wow.
All right, pay
Now,
the board.
Check.
now Tony G's flopped a gut shot straight.
Just want the board.
Brindley was trapping with top pair.
Tony's going
Goes
to be
check, check.
Yeah, Roy's going to be sick if the 5 comes.
Red check.
Wow,
I
what
got the
is
lowest
Brindley
so far.
doing here?
The high.
Checking top pair twice. Very vulnerable.
It's your two. Wow.
2,000.
What are you doing?
I guess he
here?
was...
Hit right in the middle of that. I had 3-4. So.
Tony's folded already.
didn't match up.
I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
Roy could only lose money there if the...
Right, right. You know, I don't mind checking the flop to such an aggressive player
Very well
like
done.
Tony G, you know, to keep him in line later in the match. But when you give up 2 free cards, you're just asking for trouble. He didn't find it there, though. He found the pot.
It's amazing how things like that can backfire on you sooner or later, huh?
Yeah. You know, in today's poker game, it's so wildly aggressive, I don't believe in slow playing. You know, I'm going to bet whether I have something or not, get money in the pot and try and win the pot as quickly as possible.
Against the brilliant Roy the boy. Better than that.
Tony G going to work on Roy the Boy
He
already.
doesn't waste any time. But,
Pass.
if you let Tony G have an inch, he'll walk all over you.
Oh, well, look,
King nine against
if
better.
Dykhoff was thinking about Jack 8, he's definitely going to play Ace 7 of spades, and he certainly does. He brings it in for a raise, Jesse, in back position.
6,000. Triple the bet, standard raise right now.
I'll let you guys fight it out.
You're leaving me, man.
I'll leave you.
Jesus.
I like the raise. Sometimes I like to go in between 3 and 4 and go 3.5. Now look at this. Barry Hearn has the same suit, King 8 of spades. Hopefully for him, spades do not come.
You think Barry Hearn's peeling off a flop here because he has Dykhoff targeted a little bit? Or is it just...
Maybe he's defending his blind here. Whatever he's doing, he's flopped top pair.
Check.
He's going to have Dykhoff following it.
Dykhoff with the continuation bet. It's standard. You know, you've raised before the flop, an ace or a king flops. You're going to make the continuation bet and try and define your hand and take the pot away from your opponent.
Raise.
Raise.
Barry Hearn announcing raise here. And how much is he going to want to stick in?
Well, I like to stick in about 3 to 4 times, you know, my opponent's bet. The pot size is 21,000. I would expect him to bet somewhere near that.
Another 10.
10,000 more. 18 total.
Yep, just a little shy of that, which isn't bad because, you know, his kicker is a little weak, and that's, you know, you only want to bet enough to get the job done, which at this point his job is to win the pot, I think, is his objective here, not to draw a call in.
Will Dykhoff listen to this message? He does.
He does.
Hearn taking the pot there. He's defended your blind. I mean, where do you draw the line between what hands you defend with and what hands you don't?
Your opponents, you know, which opponent you're against, and their hand frequency. You know, you have to defend your blinds at a certain point so that you're not getting picked on all the time. But certainly you want to defend with some kind of a hold-in.
And Barry Hearn sending out a message early there. Don't pick on me.
And then I will look at it.
And not many people do, Jesse.
I know when you raise, you never pass. You never like passing once you raise.
Is this a mind game, Sam? Are you trying to put something in my mind?
Aha, there he is. Barry Hearn is on to Tony G. He said, it's a mind game. You're trying to get into my mind.